Hello. Thank you for coming along to this video. You're very kind and generous. I'm looking in the wrong place. Excuse me if I look over there. That is where the viewfinder is too. There used to be a little tag up the top there, so I knew where to look. Just a little tag. Do you like it when I tick with that tag? Random round, tiny gentle circles. Oh, sorry. So, my name is Mr. Wobbly Chair. Let me just move this over here a bit. There, is that good for you? So, goodness me, this really is a wobbly chair, isn't it? Luckily I'm ensconced into a cushion. So I need to put some ice cubes inside it. My hemorrhoids are playing up something terrible. They keep staying out late at night, don't come home, don't put the trash out every other week. Oh, I don't know. Right then, what am I going to do here? I'm going to be reading some of this. It's I'll get there in a minute, I promise you. Thursday, it's Thursday. There you go. Which one? Have a guess. Oh, so close. So, I was just about to go to bed actually, and then I thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to read one of my books. And then I thought I might record it. So, hands up all of those who had gone to bed. You are so unkind. Just for that I'm going to come around your house later on tonight and shit on your tortoise. So, my name is Paul Murphy. Hello, how you doing? I'm very pleased to meet you all, and if you would just take a few seconds to introduce yourselves to me. Bit loud, I'm a bit short of hearing. Thank you so much. You're so nice. And what do you do for a living? Really? Oh, that must give you a bit painful, what I thought. Right, where are we going to here? So this is a book that I wrote this in. I don't know when I wrote this. Tomorrow perhaps. I wrote this in, let me see, 1492 Columbus Sale. 1830 it was start of the 6:30 news. 4 and 6, that was my pocket money. I don't know when I wrote it. I guess it'll tell me in there actually. Will it tell me? Oh yeah, okay, well it looks like I wrote this in 2003. Oh goodness me. The reason I went over my garage today, which is just over there. Can you see it? No, that's because it's dark outside. And I was over in my garage and I was sorting out. Man, did I find some stuff in there. My first wife, really. She did not look good. Alive or dead. That's not a true story. I've never been married. My wives have, but I never have been. And but anyway, you know, we had one for old time's sake. She moved more today than she did back then. I'm sorry, we're going off in some ad-libbing here. I'm not saying my wife was bad in bed, but we made a sex tape and people thought it was a still photograph. Right, where was I going to with this? I was going over there. Yes, I wrote this book. Oh yeah, I was over in my garage. I found a whole heap of CDs that I didn't know I had over there. And an asbestos poisoning because the seam was coming in off it. Sealing the roof. The roof needed sealing, but I didn't have any seals on me. Oi, oi, oi. And you know I do. They do that all the time. Oi, 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 oi. Well, it's a seal of approval. So, yeah, and what the heck's in this box here? So I'm going to cough now, I do apologise. I wasn't lying about the asbestos, unfortunately. I certainly wasn't being humorous about it. Yeah, so there's, well, you don't want to know. Actually, I found some things you certainly don't want to know about. And the lubricant as well. Well, you know, I'm a bit of a cheapskate. Can of WD-40 does just as well. No. And so yeah, now what the heck's in this box? It said Milac. which I don't know, must be French or Venezuelan or Klingon for milk. I don't know, because I had a picture of tiny little milk things on it, but there wasn't milk inside it. No, what was inside it was many copies of these, which is a book I wrote. I think we've already pre-ascertained that it was in 2003. So I now know when I was going out with Jenny. Hello Jenny, how you doing there? You naughty girl. The utterly private and confidential teenage diary of Jesus. When I wrote this, oh man, the press I got for it. I was crucified, I was terrible. I wrote this book for all your sins. I should have said, but I didn't. Yeah, there was all kinds of stuff going on. Furore here and furore there. And a couple of mascaratis. So I think I should just get back onto the point. So, remind my days in the Navy. Where was I going with this? I don't know. Someone remind me, did I click record? I did. I'm looking at the red dot on there. I can't say out loud what I just thought of there. Anyway, love is a many-vended thing. Where was I going with this? I don't know. Help me out, madam. I'm looking at a picture of my daughter over there. Oh yeah. Anyway, so I wrote this, and there was local author outrages Christians was the front page of one of the newspapers, either the Somerset Gazette or the Western Daily Press or one of them. And that was before I wrote the book, you know. I just outraged them in any case. Like, I walked down the street and they would leap out of their church and go, "You outrage me!" Well, thank you, I'm doing a good job then. And it was very strange, actually, being vilified and pilloried, and let me just... It's when one gets underneath the other, you know, that's when it's a bit... Ladies, you don't know how lucky you are. Do you want to have a look, see how lucky you are? Oh, I'm sorry about that loud clump then. I have a wooden buttock. That's a war injury, you know. And oh man, it's going crazy here. Right, so yeah, it was interesting, you know, being, as I say, vilified by Christians, you know, and we're outraged by this. My point, before any of you, you know, start writing in, I mean, if you want to write in, make it on a check, okay? Or Venezuelan, I'm easy. A Brazilian would be better. Please send all your comments written on a Brazilian. Deforestation, huh? Anyway, as I was... Oh, sorry. What was I on about? Yeah, as I pointed out at the time to the press, and I will just reiterate here, not that I'm going to get to read any of this, if God exists, spoiler alert, he doesn't, really sorry. Can you hear me above this creaking of the chair here? Goodness me. I got an Allen key where you don't want an Allen key. Allen, come out of there. Allen key, he lives down the road. Why he can't live in a house, I don't know. Housing shortage, they don't make them that high. Frickin' hell. So saith me. So say me. Yeah, as I was pointing out at the time, you know, if God exists, then he knows I'm writing the book, and if he's outraged by it, you know, he can just, a lightning bolt, you know, a heart attack. But no, he let me finish it and publish it. Go out and do recitals of it and everything. So I figure God's got a good sense of humour, you know. he's got to have, anyone that designs testicles has got to have a pretty sick sense of humour, really. I mean, you know, come on. You couldn't put them, I mean, your nose has got a bone in there, you know, to protect it and all this stuff. And your brain, I don't use my brain too often, but it's got a nice big, you know. But these things here, you know, these nice, precious, delicate things, just got to have them out and exposed. Well, they're very exposed because I had the iMac out today. I think it was the iMac, paint stripper, one of the two. It all does the same trick. Certainly at my age, it's like a Newton's cradle, you know. Anyway, let's get on with the book. So here's the book. Oh yeah, and I've now found 50 copies of this. So, 50 people who want to have a jolly good laugh, please send me lots of money and I will send you one of these. Send me twice as much as lots of money and I'll send you 2 of them. But for anyone who's too cheap to buy one, you mean fiends, you. I just want to clean my glasses. Lick this with your Zygmunt. Thank you. Off you go now. Come back next week. He's a good boy. So, yeah, I'll read you a bit. So it's called The Utterly Private and Confidential Teenage Diary of Jesus. I also pointed out, and I will point out again for your delectation, that this is Jesus before he became Jesus. So he was a teenage boy. My understanding of the Bible, which I had to read to parody it, by the way, was that Jesus only became Jesus when he was 30, and he did it until he was, I think, 33, at which point his career prospects took a bit of a downturn. Or an upturn, really. There was going to be a book 2, which was going to be Jesus when he was Jesus, but that was just so outrageous I didn't do it. And I think, you know, one of the entries, I did write it, but I didn't do anything with it. Was feel this may be a bad day. I've awoken to find myself nailed to a cross. I wouldn't mind, but I've got an itchy nose. So, yeah, anyway, so shall we start? I haven't read this myself in years, you know, decades, centuries, inches. So it starts with him being born, chapter the first of the Nativities of Wrestler. Shall I skip ahead a bit? Okay, so there's a load of running jokes through here, and some of them are just walking jokes, and some of them are staggering jokes, some of them pogoing jokes. Well, let's just start. I'm sorry, I've just gone ahead of page. So, we are chapter the 10th of Revelations. You'll pick up how it goes at some point, or you'll turn off, or, you know, you'll fall off a cliff, or whatever you might be doing at the time. That is very bad for your eyesight. Not on the curtains. Your poor mother. Your poor cat. I had somebody go, ugh. I meant was, you know, this. Sorry, Tiddles, roll out of wet wipes. Chapter the 10th of Revelation. Oh, if I should just say, Dylan and Emily, my wonderful children, if you're watching this, stop. Go back to the start of this and don't watch it. Chapter the 10th of Revelations. 12 years and then some AD. So he's obviously 12 years old. See what you've missed already? Yeah. And all the best bits were the first 11 years. 12 years and then some AD. Oh, for some AD. Second word is delight. What do you think the A stands for? You naughty people. How? Goodness me. You haven't got your sister's phone number, have you? So, 12 years and then some of the AD. And now, a moment for reflection. I'm looking in the mirror. So, family day out. We are off to Jerusalem to celebrate the time God, I won't read that, rescued his, that's me, not the book. Got enough lights on in here. 12 years and then some AD. Family day out. We're off to Jerusalem to celebrate the time God rescued his people from Egypt, or some such bollocks. It all happened yonks ago, as did anything interesting. This celebration is called the Pissover Festival, because we pissed all over the Egyptians that week. Details were sketchy about exactly what the situation was and how big the victory was, but hieroglyphics have been found showing 23 men, a pig's bladder, 2 smocks laid on the ground at one end of the field, 2 smocks laid on the ground at the other end of the field, and a Canaanite linesman. The last hieroglyph shows 11 charred Egyptian bodies and God's face saying, "It is now." English World Cup joke for overseas viewers. Or the underseas viewers. 12 years and then some more AD. Shall I do each one in a different voice? We've managed to get digs in the... No. We've managed to get digs in the cheaper end of town. And we've been able to get thumped in the downright poor end. Digs. I find it funny. Hey, this is the first time I've read this in 20 years, you know. Mother has wondered aloud if there is a part of town she can get poked in. Joseph has called her a wanton and gone out on the raz. Mother called after him that he hath no sense of humour. No frickin' sense, full stop, more like. And she has added no staying power either, for good measure. Family outings, don't you just love 'em? I suppose I'll have to stay here and keepeth mother company. Perhaps we will engage in philosophical discourse. Then, AD, mother knocking back the contents of the minibar like there's no tomorrow. Then, too, AD, you know, Jesus, there's things that you should know about your family. Yes, mother. Untold secrets. Well, no one told me that you could projectile vomit with such accuracy, that's for sure. I expect it will wash out. Joseph, would that be a relative of Joseph? Joseph is not your real father. I'm trying to be a drunken Mary here. Was it Mary, Jesus' mother? Yeah, well, yeah. Just silence out there. Oh, the neighbours are heckling me from their bathroom. Josephus is not your real father. You mean he's made out of plastic? Well, he isn't. Oh, well then again he isn't. Ah, your real father is... Yes. Ish. Yes, come on woman, spit it out. As I've heard Joseph say to you many a time. Ish. You're bloody well milking this, aren't you? Ish. Oh God. Herk. Well, better out than in, I guess, although I don't recall us having diced carrots for dinner. How about I'll clean it up, you lie there passed out in a drunken stupor on the bed, halfway through a life-altering revelation, eh? Let's see, if that's 1 bum part for yes and 2 bum parts for no, your answer was yes, no, yes, no, yes, I said no. I'll take it as a yes, but let's just open the window first, eh? I am stunned and taken aback by all this. not just because I'm trying to hold my breath until the room clears. Has my whole life, I'm getting all Amdram here now, you folks. You get everything for free. And you're still paying too much. Has my whole life, William Shatner is going to read expect to you. Has my whole life been a sham? Have I grown under a false impression that the beloved parents to whom I have given my lifelong respect were my mother and that short smelly twat she's married to? Or has the last 10 minutes been a sham, with mother's drunken ramblings being nothing more than a spiteful attempt to drive a division between myself and that short smelly twat that she's married to? If Joseph is not my actual father, who is? Has mother been married before? What happened to the first husband? And, most important, will I still inherit the family business? I shall wait patiently for Mother to awaken and question her further. 2 seconds later, AD. I have lovingly poured 10 gallons of ice-cold water over Mother and gently shaken her like a piece of straw in a hurricane until her teeth shattered. This is a very delicate matter, and I must handle it with tact and diplomacy. I have tactfully and diplomatically asked Mother, what the fuck was all that fucking business about fathers? I want some fucking answers, and I fucking well want them now. Mother has responded that she has no recollection of what I am talking about. She is not well. There must have been something that has upset her stomach in that cashew nut she ate shortly before quiffing half the ale in Nazareth. If it is not right for a son to yell at his mother when she is ill. And by the way, where did I learn such language from? And I better not let my father hear me talking like that. 35 tantrum-filled seconds later, AD. I've explained to the landlord that I am an apprentice carpenter and I will fix the damage before I leave. 1 hour of awkward silence later, AD. Mother has gone to a bar to see if I can find a nice Abyssinian gentleman who will buy me wine for medicinal purposes. I have been left behind to repair the room for financial purposes. 1 hour of room repairing and thoughtful contemplation later, AD. Mother has been successful in a quest I've pulled, and she has requested that I explore the delights of Jerusalem, piss off out the way, until the gentleman has effected her a cure, given me one. I shall go to the temple because it is a place of spiritual regeneration, which I am sore in need of at this moment. Also, it's free to get in. Will you stop creaking? Goodness me. 90-year-olds make bad cushions. Ow, ow, I was in a war, you know. Stop this. Silence. You'll be in one again. Sorry, the last entry plus, how am I doing for time on this? 22 minutes. 22 minutes these films last for, 34 minutes. Pardon me, just a second. So, you've got, I don't know, more to come. The last entry plus a week later, AD. Well, it's nice to be back home in my own bed, even if said bed is currently located in the doghouse, which is actually nicer than my room. Heckle me. I mean, heckle by the furniture. Whatever next. Heckle for a shekel. Right. There appears to be an element of unfairness in all this, from how I've been able to piece the story together. Now, there I was, walking the streets of Nazareth a week ago, plagued by doubt, indecision, and midges. Stop it, you're making me laugh, naughty people, you. Have some mercy on me. For hour upon hour, I paced the pavements, my unhappy ponderings, in sharp contrast to the joy of the passing festival revellers, who attempted to buoy me with cries of, "Cheer up, you miserable bastard!" Eventually the celebrations wound down, the crowds began to disperse, and the hour grew late. And so I made my way back to our lodging room to attempt to fathom from Mother and Joseph the true circumstances of my conception. Mother's words had been cryptic, ambiguous, and alcohol-fueled. But were they true? I took heart from the fact that, whatever the realities, both Mother and Joseph loved me dearly, deeply and without reservation, and with that affirming knowledge in my heart, I returned to our room to discover they packed up and pissed off home without me. This was a terrible, shattering experience, as I was left with the choice of either sleeping in excreta-filled gutters or using my own money to pay for the room. It took me about 6 seconds to pack. The inference being that Joseph is a little bit mean, shall we say. I walked, Joseph and Jesus and the whole, I was trying to say Smagilliga then, and it all went completely wrong. Do you know why? Because this book is dedicated to Spike Milligan. And I like this. Can you read this? Page 1, introduction. Hi, how you doing? Listen. Then he goes, longer introduction and even longer introduction. A longer introduction. Long ago, in a place near a vicinity adjacent to a location quite close to somewhere, there lived somebody. He had nothing whatsoever to do with this book, though. What you now hold in your quivering, hairy hand, well, if you're my mother, is a book unlike any other, thanks to those bastard copyright laws. A book brought to you by the astounding, mind-blowing, nigh incomprehensible process of the parting with of the requisite amount of cash. Tremble, ye mighty, and ye tight hearts. That's such a concept. And the even longer introduction, got to mention to a lady that I was seeing around the time, though. It's a very funny joke, but I'm not going to do it now. Where do we get to, folks? Well, we're on page 53. I walk the cold, dark, empty... I can't see diddly in these plastic glasses. Would you mind if I change my glasses a second? That's better. Hey, I didn't say I was going to change them for another pair of glasses. Oh, the way over there. My arm won't reach. I've only got one thing that will reach that far. Ladies. Hey there, did you miss me? You were going to twitch off while I wasn't looking, weren't you? I know all about you. Ugh, goodness me. Frickety frack. I don't know whose glasses they are. That bloke has just crashed his car into the hedge because he's left his glasses here. Right. Let's get serious for a moment. Give me your money. I walk the... Did we do that bit? We'll start again. I do like it when it gets silly. I do like the silly ones. I walked the cold, dark, empty streets of Nazareth, which luckily for me were warm, lit and full of people at this time of year. And I stopped by a hearing-impaired street food vendor who sold me a bagel after first attempting to provide me with a beagle, a bagatelle, a bugle, a bangle and a Bengali. Come the latter, I was wishing the deaf bastard could hear me because I was in danger of starving. And lo, his hearing miraculously returned. The feigning git. This kind of thing has been happening to me all my life. Oh, there's a running joke in through, Jesus accidentally heals people and stuff like that, but he doesn't realise it. What's happening? Because of course he's only 12 years old all the time. This kind of thing has happened to me all my life. After partaking of sustenance, I continued to walk the well-trod paths, musing on life and its foibles, and peeing the doorway of Syrian banks. A practice that is frowned upon by the homeless who are sleeping in the doorways of Syrian banks. Meanwhile, somewhere on the road home, Mother and Joseph have both sobered up enough to recognise each other. "Where's my wallet?" asks Joseph. "It's here, but it's a bit empty. I'd like to exchange it for a full one, please. Where's lunch?" "In the hamper. Have you got my comb?" "Yepeth, it's in my purse. Have you got my purse?" "I have. Where are my spare socks?" "First donkey on the left, second knapsack down. Have you got the front door keys?" "Yepeth. Anything else you can think of?" "Nopeth." 2 hours later, AD. "Where's Jesus?" "Ah, fuck, I knew there was something else." There then came much searching of the donkey train, but I was nowhere to be found, and Mary and Joseph were sore concerned because it was my turn to empty the number 2 pit. And with a wailing and a gnashing of teeth, they did say, "Oh, bollocks, we'll have to go back to Jerusalem and find him." For they did miss me much. What the heck? For they did miss me much. That's wrong as well. For they did much miss me. Just think you can buy a copy of this and read it without all these spelling mistakes. Alright, I'll tell the truth, it's pronunciation mistakes. For they did much miss me, as Mother saith with concern in her voice. "Is your 5 shekels a week in family income supplement?" They hurried back, breathless and fearful of my loss, for often had Joseph referred to me as a good little earner if we milk him right, and they were afraid that I had been kidnapped, waylaid, or taken up to Jackson. Upon reaching Jerusalem, they scoured the streets and dusted the lanterns, and then began asking all the people they met, "Hast thou seen a young man called Jesus, possibly being followed by a bunch of lame people? And if so, can you point us in his direction?" Occasionally, Mother would stray from her task and ask to be pointed in the direction of a well-endowed man, name unnecessary, for old habits do dieth hard. Eventually someone saith to them, "I saw Jesus with the teachers in the temple," that grassing bastard. And the old folks did hurry there, in case I was doing something that might deprive them of a commission. Soon Mary's eye did pick out her beloved son. Oh, we nearly finished this file. Oh, okay. Finish this file. We'd like you to finish this frickin' paragraph. So, and a silence descended upon them as they found his motivation for the scene, but not the herd. There's a load of sheep over there. I saw Jesus with the devil done a bit ill one case. Soon Mary's eyes oh, come on. Soon Mary's eyes did pick out her beloved son, although not before she'd chosen a one-legged Egyptian and an 83-year-old herring seller called Ishmael by mistake. "Look, Joseph, he has his head bowed and is listening eagerly to the aged rabbis and teachers," said Mary. Actually, I was watching two cockroaches getting jiggy. "Look, Joseph, he has leaned forward and asked the teachers a question, and by the look of surprise on their faces I can tell they are amazed that anyone as young as he could join in their discussion with words of wisdom," said Mary. Actually, I just said truth. Doesn't any of you old twats know a good joke or something? With that, Joseph came into the circle, grabbed me hold by the ear, thankfully, and led me to Mother, saying, "All the other kids your age are smoking pot and you're hanging around a temple with a load of old guys. Is there something you want to tell us, Jesus?" And Mother did say a tuppence worth. "How could you behave like this, Jesus? We've got better things to do than traipse over half of Galilee looking for you." And I did looks first one and then the other of them in the eye, and I did saith, "I thought you would guess that I must be in my Father's house." And their guilty consciences did do the rest, and verily they shut up the fuck up all the way home. Moral, never underestimate the power of a bluff. How are we doing for time there? Is that 33? Well, dear friends, these files only record for 34 minutes. Aren't you so glad? So, I've been Paul Murphy most of the time, some of the time. So, I was Mrs. Jennifer Nees of Croydon. It's a hard job, but someone's got to do it. Ask Mr. Nees. And it's been very kind of you to spare me 33 minutes of your life. It's very precious. You will never get that time back. Never. I hope you realise that. Or you could just wind the tape back to the start. Wind the pixels back to the start. Forget everything that I've told you, and you've got your time back. Amazing. And now my finger's going to come towards you because it's going to go over there and it's going to turn the camera off. Followed by my eyes. Oh,